Let's learn who, what, when, where, why today. My name is Taiki Kobayashi, and you're gonna learn how to use these in Japanese. Let's start with who. Who is 誰. How do I use it? Example. 誰が来ますか? 誰が来ますか? Coming. Remember to use ga. Who is coming? Let's say it. 誰が来ますか? Simply, you can say 誰ですか? 誰ですか? Let's say it. Now, what does this mean? Who is this? Who is that? Who, when you're at a party, you see a stranger face, new face. 誰ですか? You don't directly say to them because that might be too rude. This is not something you want to say to someone directly. What if you want to say who are you and not sound rude at the same time? This is not going to be 誰ですか? どちら様ですか? どちら can also mean where, but 様 is a very formal honorific title. 様 is like in 神様, but this is what you want to ask. どちら様ですか? Even if you don't work at a customer service, when someone approaches you and you don't know the person, どちら様ですか? どちら様ですか? You can say 誰ですか if you're not talking to them directly. But if you're talking to a friend who's close enough to you, or like a common line, when a girlfriend sees her boyfriend having an affair with a girl, she's gonna say, well, who's that girl? Who is she? She can say just 誰. Who's this bitch? And if you're living a high-end mansion and you want to sound snooty, snobby, and posh, this is what you want to use. どなた? Now, same situation when you see someone who you've never met before. You're just wondering, who are you? If you want to sound snooty, どなた? 誰? どなた is more posh. But like I said, it might sound snooty, and this is commonly used by madams, mid-aged women in a higher status, social status. 誰? You can also use it when you're describing who's something. It's this. 誰のペンですか? Here, no. If you want to learn about no in more depth, I have a card up right here. You can check it out. Pen. 誰の violin no becomes whose, possessive. And let's say I'm holding this pen, so you know I'm talking about this pen. I'm talking about a pen. You don't always have to say pen because you both know this is a pen. In that case, you can just drop this one. 誰のですか? Simple. That is who. Now, moving on to what. What can also be 何 or 何. So how do you differentiate these? That's a great question. 何, you would typically use it when you're describing quantity. What amount? How many? I'll give you an example. 何人? How many people? That's right. We don't use how many. We say what people. 人 is a counter for people. So 何 plus counter, you're saying how many. 何本? How many cylindrical things, like a pen. So this is originally counter for cylindrical things like pen, fingers, and surprisingly movie. Originally, it is pronounced as hon, but depending on the number, for example, 3本, 3, it changes to bon. This changes to bon even if it's 何 as well. So quantity. So what about this one? Quality. Maybe it's not a quality, but characteristic, features. 何色? What color? So 色 means color. Okay, so 何色ですか? あなたの目の色は何色ですか? I just asked you what the color of your eyes are. How many colors are there? 何色? You guessed it. But this 色 in kanji looks like this. Has two different ways of reading. 色 and 色. Alright? So for what color, you want to use this 色. 何色? But for how many colors, you want to use 何色. Okay? 何色. How many colors? How many colors are available? This is the hardest part about Japanese language because it's not going to be as simple as European languages. Once you know how to pronounce, for example, A, B, C, when you look at this alphabet, you know how you pronounce this. B. Yeah, if it's hiragana, katakana, which is Japanese alphabet, yeah, it's exactly the same rule. When you see this one, you know you pronounce it as na. This one, ni. But when it comes to Chinese letters, also known as kanji, typically you have Chinese way of reading it and Japanese way of reading it. So this makes this language a whole lot harder. But don't worry about it. I'll keep you posted on how to learn Japanese, master this language. So stick with me. How would you say, how old are you? 何歳ですか? 歳 is a counter for age, years old. 何歳ですか? How old are you? You're using 何 because it's a quantity, number of years you have lived so far. Think of 何 when you use a sentence as an object. 何で来ますか? So 来ますか? Coming. Are you coming? 何 what? で means like by or with. Alright, so this indicates the whatever that is in front of it. It's a tool to do something. What comes after? So coming, well, how? By what? Like By car, by train, on foot, what? So de, what's before de reveals it. But this time you're asking the question, so it doesn't reveal it. I'm gonna talk about de in a whole another video, but just to give you an idea, bus de kimasu, alright? Kimasu, come, I will come with or by bus. This, you see, indicating a tool or like method to do this, alright? If you speak Spanish or English, there are sometimes you wanna say what or que. In order to say that in Japanese, you say nani, nani, what, que. But it's not the most polite way of saying, of course. If you wanna say this in polite form, it's like, what is it? You would say, nan desu ka? What is it? Alright, so this is politeness level, okay? This is impolite and polite, alright? So you see, it's a contrast. It's the exact same meaning. This formality, politeness is the difference. There are words like this in Japanese. You can find tons of them. To say what are your hobbies, for example, 趣味は何ですか? What are your hobbies? You see, you want to have this subject. As for hobbies, what are they? What are your hobbies? You want to have what you're asking always before. Always before. Okay? You never say 何ですか? 趣味は. No. 趣味は何ですか? So remember this order. Okay? Japanese consists like this: subject, object, and verb. And this time, subject is excluded because we make assumption about what you're talking about. Unless you're specifying someone, like my sister, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my father, unless you specify those, if it's coming out of your mouth without a subject, well, I'm talking about you. You're talking about yourself. And if you're asking me without specifying you, you're asking me about myself. So you don't have to say, what are your hobbies? This literal sentence, hobbies, what? I hope it makes sense. You can input anything, alright? 仕事は何ですか, for example. 仕事 means job. So, what do you do for a living? 仕事は何ですか? Is it rude to ask someone in Japan what they do for a living? Not really, it's culturally acceptable, I would say. So, if you're curious about Japanese culture as well, subscribe to my channel. I'll tell you everything that you need to know about Japan. Now, moving on to the next one. Where is どこ? Alright, どこですか? Where is it? But it is the least specific way of asking. So, if you want to ask where the toilet is, トイレはどこですか? Okay? トイレはどこですか? Okay? Toilet, どこですか? Where is it? Let's say someone abducted you. Let's say someone abducted you. Hopefully it doesn't happen, and you end up in the middle of nowhere. You want to say, where am I? But that's not how we say. We don't say, where am I? 私はどこですか? No, we don't say that. Instead, we say, where is here? ここ here はどこですか? Where is here? Here. Okay? You see the トイレはどこですか? Yeah, I just replaced it. ここはどこですか? Where is here? Where am I? Again, let's say you're having a Skype call, Zoom call with your friend, and he seems to be in a very dark place. You just want to know where he is. Is he in a basement? I don't know. そこはどこですか? Where are you? Where is there? Come on, man. I can barely see your face. そこはどこですか? But, you know, this, it sounds too polite for having a conversation with your friend that you've known for a long time. So you can just drop this. Okay, そこはどこ? And this, そこどこ? This is how most of us speak, alright? そこどこ? That's right. We make you study all the particles, but in casual speak, how natural native Japanese people speak is drop every particle. そこどこ? There, where? I know. It is strange, I know. Very useful phrase when you're starting out, and possibly you're thinking of moving to Japan and making friends. When introducing yourself, this is what a lot of people ask you. You expect this question. どこから来ましたか? So, から means from. Where? 来ました. Came. か makes it a question. So, where are you from? Where from came. Where you come from. And you just tell them your country. アメリカから来ました. アメリカから来ました. I came from America. I came from the States. イギリスから来ました. I came from Great Britain. Moving on to the next one. When. When is いつ okay? いつ来ますか? When you're expecting someone to come to a gathering, but she's not showing up. The phone, いつ来ますか? When are you coming? But if you're close enough to her, what we tend to do is いつ来る? Alright? いつ来る? See, this is more polite. 来ます is more polite. 来る, exact same meaning, but impolite. Casual. When do you use when? Maybe you're planning on something. Maybe you're trying to do something together with a person. And you're trying to adjust the schedule and find a convenient day. So, when is convenient for you? いつがいいですか? Okay? So, いい means good. It is simpler than you thought. I think. When is good. When is good. Now, if you guessed 便利, meaning convenient, this is not the word we use for this. This 便利, this convenient, this means convenient. Yeah. You only use that for tools. Oh look, this pen had a eraser. I can erase this and I can just write it. 便利です. This is convenient. Oh, the phone I'm filming with, I can access Instagram, YouTube, and film a video. Oh, 便利です. You see, only for tools, okay? Not when you're saying when is convenient. We don't use that. You can say 誕生日はいつですか? What does this mean? That's a good question. 誕生日 means birthday, so when is your birthday? Easy, right? Like the last example, where, どこ example, you just input anything here, okay? 記念日はいつですか? Anniversary. So when's the anniversary? Or like when you're trying to ask someone out, you want to know her schedule, when's your holidays? 休み Yasumi means break or vacation. So 休みはいつですか? When are you free? When's your day off? Now bonus, hopefully you don't use this one. いつになったらわかるんだ. いつになったらわかるんだ. Okay, so this phrase means when are you learn? When do you start learning? I don't know. This is going to be an unrealistic example. But your friend, she goes to jail periodically. When you bail her out, you tell her, when are you going to learn? You're ruining your life. いつになったらわかるんだ. Just a bonus. Hopefully you don't have to use this. I never used this one in my entire life, but if you're watching anime or TV show, when someone says this one, this is what it means. Now, more realistic example you can use, assuming when you meet someone for the first time in Japan. いつから日本にいますか? いつから from 日本 Japan に in Japan いますか? います means to exist. So when from Japan in exist. Since when are you in Japan? Have you been in Japan? Maybe they ask you, Japanese people ask you, it's like how long has it been after you arrived in Japan? Or if you're living, if you have a resident, 住んでいますか? 住んでいますか means living, currently living. So from when have you been living in Japan? How long has it been? Another useful phrase. Last but not least, we have why, porque, pourquoi, verbe. There are three ways of saying why. なぜ, どうして、なんで. At the top, alright, polite, impolite. This is interchangeable. なぜ is more like written form. You would see なぜ in a catch copy of a product, in the news, or when someone tries to be poetic. Alright, since I said interchangeable, you can put どうして ですか? No problem. なんで ですか? No problem. When do you differentiate them? Well, like I said, it's written form. どうして it is slightly more formal than なんで. Think of どうして as like, why, dear? Why? どうして When a teacher asks her students why he did something. どうして殴ったの? どうして殴ったの? So, 殴った means to punch. The past tense of punch. So, punched. No. If you add no at the end of a sentence, you're expecting the other person, your person you're talking to give you the reasons why you did this one. Okay? So, typically, どうして and no, or なぜ, no, なんで, no, they come together. They are like pairs. They're like a couple. So, why did you hit him? Why did you hit him? You know, the teacher tends to sound more slightly educated and decent. So instead of saying なんで, they tend to use どうして to students. But like I said, なぜ殴ったの? It's fine too. どうして殴ったの? It's fine too. なんで殴ったの? It's fine too. I'm just talking about probability of a teacher using this one more than this one. なんで is the most casual way of saying it. So なんで between friends. なんで why? Alright. A guy might say to his girlfriend, なんで俺のこと好きなの? You see? 俺のことme 好きなの like so you see no is used here too so he's expecting her to give him reasons why she likes him なんで俺のこと好きなの When my girlfriend asks her boyfriend なんで私のこと好きなの Okay so 俺 is a male speech 私 is a female speech If you want me to go over pronouns in Japanese feel free to ask me so because these are fun These are very fun. A lot of people find it interesting. If you're an English speaker, you only have I, no matter the gender. But by changing the pronouns in Japanese, you tend to display different characteristics. So if you watch anime, you hear a lot of different pronouns. If you want me to go over them, just feel free to drop a comment in the comment section below. So yeah, the Y is the most, I would say, simplest of all the 5W. You know, the 5W, because it's called 5W, because it's what, right, it's 1, when, that's 2, where, that's 3, who, that's 4, and why, that's 5. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why I call it 5W. Okay, so 5W, there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have some questions about what we went over today, feel free to ask me in the comment section below. I will try to answer them as much as possible, as detailed as possible. But if you don't have the hassle to type all the questions for me, you can book a trial lesson in link in the description below with a private lesson with me. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.